All right. So, good evening, everyone. So, today's topic is conquer your fear. There's a gentleman named George Jessel, is an American actor. He said, "The human brain starts working the moment you are born and never stops until you stand up in public to speak." So, that is the fear of public speaking. Although it is such a desired skill, but still there is a lot of fear in the public about speaking, about conducting small talks in the informal settings. And today, I'm going to explain you a few facts that why people fear public speaking. And I'm going to give you some tools which are of 21st century, which will help you conquer your fear right now. Not tomorrow, not 1 week later, right now in this session at the end of 1 hour. Provided if you just follow those techniques, what I'm going to explain to you. So let me present my PowerPoints. A couple of surveys which were done in 2014, and first was done by Chapman University, and they found that the fear of public speaking was staggering. It's the biggest phobia amongst people. It is 25.3%, largest fear among all different types of available fears. Second survey was done among corporates, and it was found that these corporate guys, they looked for oral communication most than any other skills. So presentation skills, management skills, they all were lower in the ranking than the oral communication. So it is so important. We need to know how to communicate more effectively with the people. And if we learn the skill of speaking in a group confidently, then nothing is so difficult for us. I mean, we project a confident image, and that helps us get that influence, get that support of different people. So this is so important, and hence I think every one of us should have this skill. Now, out of curiosity, I would like to ask all my fellow Toastmasters as well as guests, how many of you think you have this fear of public speaking? You can just put your message in the chat box. If you can just say, yes, I have, yes, yes, just put it in the chat box, yes, if you have fear of public speaking, meaning you get nervous whenever you are asked to speak in the public. Okay, great. So a lot of people are saying yes, and I highly appreciate your honest answer. Thank you very much. What happens that why some people have fear of public speaking and some not? There is a reason behind it, and I'm going to explain you those reasons in a while. But let me make you aware about my encounter with my first public speaking attempt. It was 1993. I was in the engineering college first year, and our English professor gave us task to all students that we have to present a 2-minute speech in 1 week time. And I was quite nervous. I never knew how to do public speaking. I always focused on my studies and passing the exams, preparing for the entrance exam, so on and so forth. So never kind of spent enough time in interpersonal skills development. So I was quite nervous, though I made an attempt. I studied a few books, tried to understand how to do public speaking, and prepared a speech. As I moved closer to the day of delivery, the more and more nervousness started gripping me in. And then I asked a few of my friends that, man, this is too bad. I'm not feeling comfortable. I feel like running away. But there was no escape. It was mandatory for everybody to deliver the speech. If you don't come one day, the next day you are going to come and you have to deliver. So there is no escape. There's no choice. I asked him that, can you give me some tips how to do it? And he suggested that you take a newspaper and roll it like this, and put it in your hand like this, because I was quite nervous what to do with the hands, So you said that you take a newspaper like this and put it like this. So I took that. I went to the stage. I spoke just like Swami Vivekananda's first sentence in the famous Chicago speech, brothers and sisters of my class, 1993. And after that, what I spoke, I don't remember. When I finished my speaking, the whole class was in silence. And you can imagine what I was going through. So that was my first attempt where I felt miserably, and that filled me in with a lot of fear. After that, in 1997, when I passed out from the college, I got a job in Atul Limited, Valsad in Gujarat. And we were given a project, all the members who had joined the company in that year, along with me in my batch, we all were given a project. Work on this project and find out the problem and suggest the solution around it and give your speech in 3 minutes time. So again, I worked hard. I tried to figure out the problem and the solution to that. And the day arrived when I had to give the solution. All those people are sitting in the big boardroom along with HR heads and my department heads. Honestly speaking, butterflies were in my stomach. And when I went to the stage, I don't know what I spoke. Again, I experienced extreme silence in that boardroom. So throughout my life, I have really suffered this public speaking skill. And then fast forward came 2014 when I thought, no, I have to develop this public speaking skills. And I joined Toastmasters Club, Bombay Toastmasters Club. And then I began developing these skills. In the club also, as I started delivering the speeches, I saw a lot of ups and downs in my own experience. So one speech I'll do well, another speech I would not do well. And again, one speech I do well, another speech I don't do well. And I realized that there's something missing in the way I'm developing my skills. Over a period of time, I kept going through different materials, attending different seminars, listening to all those conference speakers, and I realized there is something specific. Those people who are confident in speaking in the public and who are able to create the impact, they have developed the skills because of some reason. And it worked out to be that they are able to manage their nerves, which is very, very, very kind of obvious. But how do they manage their nerves? And that's what brought me to the study the subconscious mind. And today I'm going to present to you these characteristics of subconscious mind. How does it work? Because that is the root cause of each and everything which is happening in our life. Not only things related to public speaking, the confidence or fear we experience, but everything, literally everything which happens in our life, it is related to subconscious mind. So I did a lot of studies around subconscious mind, attended seminars, read books, and then I came up with that, no, there is something which people need to understand about this. And once they understand, it's very easy to develop that confidence, that skill, not only in public speaking, but in any area of life. So let us try to understand what is mind and how does this work. Basically, I'll not go in depth to explain you about all the characteristics of mind, but I'm going to just explain you a couple of characteristics, and that will be good enough for you to get the concept that how does the mind function. So our mind has two parts. One is known as conscious mind and another is known as subconscious mind. Now the conscious mind is working when we are awake, when we are alert. Right now, conscious mind is working. Subconscious mind works 24 hours a day. So even if you are sleeping, the subconscious mind is working. Conscious mind has 10% power. Subconscious mind has 90% power. So the majority of the power lies with subconscious mind. And if you want to really develop in life, really do well in life, we have to understand that how does the subconscious mind work. If we don't understand how does it work, we'll be able to succeed in our life using the conscious mind, but at some point in time the subconscious mind patterns are going to pull us down. So it's very important to understand how does it work and how we start using it on day-to-day basis. Again, what I'm going to explain to you is not rocket science, very easy to understand, and we are using every moment of our life. Right now we are using this concept, we are using this characteristic, this functionality, these powers, and we have to start using it, being more consciously about it. So conscious mind is known as Aladdin. I'll explain this concept with the help of a metaphor, with a story we all have heard about, and that's Aladdin and Genie. Uh, if you think about Aladdin and Genie's story, Genie has only one statement in his dictionary. Does anybody know what is that? What is that in the Genie's dictionary? What is that statement? Can somebody answer in the chat box? What does that statement Genie have in his dictionary? Jo hukm mere aaka. Thank you very much, Chetan. Yes, your wish is my command. So Genie has only one statement in his dictionary, and that is Jo hukm mere aaka. Your wish is my command. So if Aladdin says something good, Genie says Jo hukm mere aaka. If Aladdin says something bad, something negative, Genie says Jo hukm mere aaka. Genie doesn't say anything else. If Aladdin says, my future is bright, Genie says, your wish is my command. If Aladdin says, my future is dark, Genie says, your wish is my command. If Aladdin says, I am a confident speaker, Genie says, your wish is my command. If Aladdin says, I am a nervous speaker, I lose my confidence whenever I am asked to speak in public, Genie says, your wish is my command. So that is what the subconscious mind is doing to us. Whatever we are thinking in our head, it is just responding to that. So just like Genie is sitting in our heart here, looking up, whatever we are thinking in the mind, whatever is coming from our mouth, it is just responding to that. So we have to understand that we got to speak something positive, serene, and inspiring, which is favorable for us, than rather than getting occupied with fear. Now, our brain, our mind is designed for survival, friends. Our mind is not designed for success and happiness. Our mind, because of the thousands of years of DNA training, mind doesn't think of success and happiness automatically. It always thinks of survival, survival, survival. If you want to become successful at something, you want to become happy because of something, you have to consciously think, you have to consciously choose. Otherwise, the life is going to be very, very miserable. There are people who have succeeded in their life on different fronts. It's because they have understood how does this subconscious mind work, and that's what they continue to do there in their mind. Now, I'm going to show you one video, and this video is between Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey. In this video, you're going to witness that whatever Oprah Winfrey is thinking in her mind, there is one pendulum which is just oscillating, just responding as per her thought. Okay, so please let me know in case you are not able to hear the audio. So if the mind, we're going to do this. Are you able to hear the audio, friends?
Yeah, there are many experiments you can do, but we can do the simple one.
Yeah, let's just stick with that.
Okay.
Yes.
And what does this mean?
Well,
Okay.
why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Hold this string between your thumb and your finger.
Anand, can you make
Not
it a
very
little
clear.
louder, the voice?
Comfortably in the thigh.
It's not very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, not very clear.
1 second, 1 second.
So if the mind, we're going to do this.
1 second, yeah. Yeah, I'm just opening in the edit mode.
So if the mind, we're
One
going to do
second.
this experiment to prove how powerful the mind is.
Yeah, there are many experiments you can do.
1 second, let me share again.
So if the mind,
Is it
we're
better?
going to do this experiment to prove how powerful the mind is.
Yeah, there are many experiments you can do, but we can do the simple one if you
Let's
want.
do this. Stick with that one.
Okay.
A lot of pressure here. And what does this mean?
Well, why don't you do it? Why don't
Okay.
you do it? Hold this string between your thumb and your forefinger. Just
Yeah.
hold it.
Uh-huh.
Rest your elbow comfortably on your thigh.
Oh boy.
Okay? Yeah, rest it comfortably. I'll hold it still. Now, just while you're holding that still, mentally have the idea it's moving back and forth. Mentally have the idea that it's moving. Okay? Don't worry, it'll start moving. It'll start moving wider and wider. See, it's already doing that. Okay? In any direction you want. There you are. Now, once it's doing that, just change the idea in your mind that instead of swinging it like that, it's going to start swinging like this in a different direction.
Oh my
Mentally.
heavens.
See? Now, mentally have the idea that it's going to start making circles. Just mentally have the idea it's going to start making circles. There you are, see? Circles. Now bigger and bigger circles. There you are.
Oh my heavens.
Okay?
I didn't think I could do it. I was
See?
feeling a lot of pressure here.
Okay? Well, listen.
I
Now,
can't believe it's doing it.
yeah. And now have the idea that it's going to reverse the circle. So if it's making
Oh,
circles,
no, I don't know if I can do that.
Just have the idea.
Okay.
Just have the idea.
That it's going to reverse the circle.
Yes. Just keep that idea in your mind. You see, your expectancy determines outcome. And as long as you're not attached to the outcome will be guaranteed.
Okay.
Whenever we fulfill a desire, whatever that desire is, certain things happen. Number one, we expect a certain outcome.
Oh, it just
There
switched.
you are.
It
See?
just did it.
See?
I can't.
And this is living proof that every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your internal dialogue. And by changing your internal dialogue, you can influence the chemistry, the
Even
fundamental
Sally's impressed. Even
chemistry. of
Sally's
every
saying, I
cell.
didn't think you could do it, but you did. Every cell?
Every cell. How would this happen?
Now,
otherwise?
see, now this is amazing because if you can do it this with a string,
Right.
it means you can do it with your life.
Yeah, you can do it with anything. You can fulfill any desire in life that you want because inherent in having the desire is the mechanics for its fulfillment. I don't have the same desires as you because nature gave me those desires that nature means to fulfill.
All right. So I hope everybody got the point. So whatever she's thinking, the pendulum is moving accordingly, swinging accordingly. Now, this is what the power of mind is. And those cells, we have 60 trillion cells in the body, and all those cells correspond to what you are thinking. If you're thinking with intensity, if you're thinking in focus, if you're thinking with faith, this is how the responses occur. Now let us do one experiment. I request everybody to come on video, please. Please keep your audio on mute and come on video. Let us do one experiment. Let us experience there is a power in our mind. Okay. Okay, everybody please come on video. Okay, great. Now I want you all to look at both of your hands, and on your hands, on the palm, on the wrist, you'll see two lines. So look at the top line here in your left hand and top line in your right hand. Okay. So what you do, take the top lines of both the hands and superimpose each other like this. Top lines of both the hands superimpose and do it like this. Just like we do pranam, namaskar. Okay. Yes, just superimpose like this. Yeah. Yeah. So now this is just like we do the pranayam, right? So everybody has got equal hand size. Nobody has bigger or smaller, I suppose. Correct? Yeah. Great. Great. Now what we are going to do in this experiment is we are going to increase the size of one hand. Okay. Now mind has so much power, but all it depends on how much faith and belief you have. Okay. If you bring your conscious mind in between, ऐसा थोड़ी होता है, then it's not going to work. Okay, so it will work when you have faith and belief. So what you do, friends, you all, I do work for most of the people. Okay, many it works. I have so far always success rate is very high. But you all take your left hand like this. Okay, take your left hand like this in front of your eyes. Okay, and then take your right hand like this. Yeah, right hand like this, and you are going to speak something behind me. When I speak, you repeat the same and repeat with faith. Okay, repeat with intensity. What I'm going to say is grow longer. Grow longer meaning lambe ho jao, grow longer. Okay, and I'm going to repeat speak 8 times, and you'll do the 8 times after me. Okay, so first time. Okay, grow longer, 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 grow longer. Okay, very good. Now measure it. Now measure it. Yeah, see how many people how many people experience the increase in size? Yeah, okay, Nivedita. Okay, how many is? How many? Okay, Subha, you experienced. How many people experienced? Okay, okay, Manan. Okay, great, great. And see, this is not magic. Huh? This is truth. You measure it again. Measure it again. Try to measure it again. You know, it's not that it is illusion. See, look, there's a little increase in your size. Okay, it's not that it is just the illusion. Okay, now many people experienced it and many don't as well. Okay, now can somebody tell me, people who did not experience this, why didn't they experience? Yeah, you can just put your response in the chat box. Why didn't they experience? They did not believe. Yes, Sergeant Adams, excellent answer. They did not believe. Your subconscious mind works when you believe. When you don't believe, nothing in this world works, right? And we know that famous quote, if you think you can do a thing, you are right. If you think you can't, you are right, right? So this is nothing but subconscious mind, okay? So now what we got to do is this learning we have to use in our daily life as well. So when we have to speak, let us make sure that we think positively. If you think negative, you are going to respond in that manner. The nervousness, the fear, the worries, anxieties, everything is going to occupy your mind with, and that will affect your delivery. Okay, by the way, I'll explain the same concept with one more metaphor, and that will make the concept clearer to you. But for now, for people whose hands has grown, we have to take it back to normal, right? Otherwise, you don't want to go home and tell your family members. They'll get disturbed that what do you do in Toastmasters? Okay, so please take your hand once again like this. Okay, and you repeat after me. Okay, and we this time we'll say back to normal. Okay, back to normal. Okay, so speak like this: back to normal, 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 back to normal. Okay, measure it. Measure it. Is it back to normal now? For people who had experienced the change, is it back to normal? Okay, excellent. So give yourself a round of applause and tap on your back for doing this experiment successfully. Great. You experienced that there is a subconscious mind inside you, right? It is not rocket science. No, not at all. It's not beyond us. It's not metaphysics. It is there right now with us every moment of our life. We just got to believe in it and start using it. So let me share my presentation and explain this with one more concept, which is very, very important.
Experiment to prove how powerful the mind is.
All right. So now I would like to explain this concept with one more example, and that is example of gardener and land. Okay. So our conscious mind is like a gardener, and subconscious mind is like a fertile land. Now, when a gardener sows the seeds of apple, the land is going to give you apple. It's not going to give you chiku or papaya or any other fruit. If a gardener sows the seeds of cactus, what are you going to get out of fertile land? The cactus, the fertile land is not going to come and tell you, oh, this is cactus, it's not good, please don't sow the seeds. It's not going to tell, it's just going to respond. Now I want to ask you all a question, and please put your response in the chat box. If the gardener doesn't sow any seed at all, what are you going to get out of the land? Please put your answer in the chat box. If a gardener doesn't sow any seed at all, what are you going to get out of the land? Okay. Grass. Prachi says grass. Pratibha says weeds. Yes, exactly. Weeds. You are going to get weeds. Weeds grow automatically. You don't have to sow any seeds for the weeds. Friends, so this is what we need to understand. Because our mind is designed for survival, it always thinks of fear naturally. It is very automatic habit in the mind's pattern to think about fear because it is survival driven. It is just like you are in this room where there's light. Now, if I switch off the light, then there is going to be darkness. And fear is like darkness. Are like darkness. They are always there. The only by light, I have to switch on the light. If I switch on the light, the darkness is gone. But darkness is there. Darkness is replaced by the light, but darkness is still there. Now, if I switch off the light, there's a darkness. If I switch on the light, darkness is gone. If I switch off the light, there's a darkness. So this is what we need to understand. Our mind has the fear and negative thoughts always, all the time. You have to be conscious to think positive yourself. If you don't think positive, negative things are going to come automatically. This is how the mind works. It works because of a lot of theories behind are there to explain this concept. We'll not get into that, but I'm going to explain you a very important aspect that why does it happen that people get fear, why I got fear of public speaking, and why many of us, get some types of limiting beliefs in our life. So let me explain to you that, and so in order to understand it, let me help you understand this subconscious mind. That subconscious mind is like a hard disk. It's like a computer hard disk. In our body, there are 60 trillion cells. Each cell has a capacity of 80 GB. So you can imagine how much storage capacity we have in our body. And everything a child experiences, a child sees, a child listens, a child experiences ever since he's born, it is registered in the subconscious mind, is stored in the subconscious mind. The psychologists have found that when we are in the age group 3 to 8 years, all our beliefs get formed. Beliefs, good beliefs, empowering beliefs, or disempowering beliefs, all the beliefs get formed. Why it happens in 3 to 8 years, I'll tell you the reason, but let us try to understand that how does the information get created in the subconscious mind? How does the patterns get created? So this conscious mind 10%, subconscious mind 90%, and the conscious mind interacts with the external world with these 5 senses. Okay, this is ear, nose, etc. And once you interact with the external world, you take in the information. The information comes in your conscious mind, and conscious mind is the logical mind. It applies the logic, it applies the reasoning, it applies the judgment, and it tries to assess: do I agree? I don't agree. Am I convinced? I'm not convinced. So on and so forth. If it is convinced, then the information goes in the subconscious mind and it creates a program there. If it is convinced, then the information goes in the subconscious mind. At the same time, it may happen, it is not convinced. If it is not convinced, then it is rejected. This information doesn't go in the subconscious mind. So if in the past we have delivered the speech and we had the failure experience, or we had this nervousness experience, not that pleasant experience, we are convinced because we experienced that, right? Nobody had taught that skill of public speaking. We experienced that. So the program got formed in the subconscious mind that you are not good at public speaking. Okay, and at the same time, there are a lot of things which occur where you don't get convinced as well, and that doesn't go in the subconscious mind. So we'll focus on the public speaking tip right now. Between 3 and 8 years, all the major areas of life, the beliefs formation take place. So it may be health, relationships, money, self-image, everything. The most damaging one out of all is the self-image. If self-image garbage, then everything garbage, you know. So if self-image is destructive, then everything in life is destructive, you know. Even if you become very wealthy, healthy, extraordinary relationship, you will not feel good inside. So self-image is so important, and this is what causes problems at different places. So let me quickly show you a few belief systems which get formed, but we'll focus on the self-image mainly. But for everybody's understanding, I have tried to put some of the belief systems for each area. So for example, for health, you know, you hear in the childhood, don't go out in the rain, you'll catch cold. Don't eat ice cream, you'll fall sick. Those type of things we hear from our parents, from our adults, and those programs get installed. You know, relationships as well, you hear, okay, never trust anyone, people are not trustworthy, never trust strangers. All those things come from our adults, from parents, from teachers, etc. My mom doesn't love me because of some reason. And just mind this, that this is just a thought. It is not reality. It is not reality at all, but just a thought in your mind that my mom doesn't love me because of some experience you encountered, and you form that belief. Similarly, for money, money is the root of all evil. Money does not grow on trees. Rich people are greedy people, so on and so forth. And just if you have this belief that, okay, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are bad people, and so on and so forth, doesn't matter how much money you make in your life, the money is not going to stay with you. It will come and go. It will come and go, because in the programs in the subconscious mind says it is not good to have money, because rich people are greedy people, rich people are not good people, you know. So that does not allow it to stay with you. At the same time, there are so many people who earn money, who enjoy the money, who save it, who grow it, and they're doing quite well. So you can also understand that on that path, where do you stand? You know, so are you kind of your income is at a threshold, it's not going beyond that, or maybe money is coming and going, then there is some limiting belief which is controlling that fact of your money blueprint. Now, the most important one, which is related to our public speaking, that's the self-image, that's the confidence part. Okay, so because of the childhood experiences, we get some beliefs like I'm not good, I'm not capable. In fact, there are two beliefs which are instilled in us, which Tony Robbins talks about in his seminars, workshops, and he says that there are two beliefs that we are born with, and those two beliefs are, I am not enough, and hence I will not be loved. We see, as human beings, we all are hungry for love, appreciation, respect, you know, but there is a belief inside that I'm not enough, and hence I will not be loved. So you can imagine that if you come across some instance, some experience which does not boost your ego, which does not give you that comfort factor, because of those pre-built belief system, I'm not enough, I'll not be loved, we are going to get the same thing very easily and quickly. Okay, and that is the root cause of all the problems. So we have to understand this fact that these two beliefs are very natural to have, but still I can do well in every area of my life. I don't have to take that experience anymore, that I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not capable, and things like that. So it comes down to this, what Gautam Buddha said, what we think, we become. So what you believe is what you will see in your life. So if you believe I'm not a confident speaker, this is what you're going to see in your life. If you believe that no matter what, I'm a confident speaker, I'm going to do well, I'm going to inspire people, I'm going to add value to people, so on and so forth, this is what you're going to see in your life. So now what to do? I mean, whatever beliefs are there, they are already formed. We got to break that belief, right? So I'm going to help you with one very powerful technique, which will break your belief right now. If you do it properly, it's going to break your belief right now. And this technique is known as EFT. This technique is known as EFT, which is emotional freedom technique. This is a combination of Chinese acupuncture and modern psychology. This has been developed by two American people. They have the one was from Roger Craig, and another was a gentleman from Stanford University. And they have sat together and thought about it, and they have found out that how you can use this technique to come out of any worry, any stress, any limiting belief, any anxiety, depression, guilt, shame, anything, literally anything you can use this for, and this is going to help you. It is so very powerful. So you can call it as a panacea. It's like Ramban, panacea for everything. It's a medicine for all problems, cure for all problems. So I'll explain you that. Now let me explain you a little science behind it. So in our body, there are a lot of meridian points. So what you see here, the meridian points, and they are on the meridian lines. So the lines you see, they are meridian lines. What happens because of stress, worry, anxieties, of different types of experiences we have, energy gets stuck, meaning this meridian points get blocked. When meridian points get blocked, the energy flow gets disrupted. And when energy flow is disruptive, then you always remember those incidents, those emotional behaviors, that you have failed at the public speaking. That's an emotion, right? So many people looked at you, you did not do well, and you had this disappointment, sadness, or embarrassment, and that is there inside your subconscious mind, because that is stuck energy. Now we have to, until you break that, it is always going to be there. It's always going to remind you that you are not good in public speaking. We all have failed at different times. Nobody is a born public speaker, right? Everybody has learned on this planet. So we have failed certain times because at that time we did not know the skill. Now we know the skill. We know that we are matured enough to learn it, to develop it. It's a learnable skill. But the only thing which is controlling us from developing that skill is the stuck energy, the stuck emotion. And I'm going to help you understand how you can get rid of this stuck emotion. So people have found out, this researchers have found out that there are 9 points in our body. If we tap on those 9 points, then whatever stuck energy, stuck emotion is in our body, that gets released. When it gets released, then you feel light, you feel comfortable, and you are able to come out of that limiting belief and then move forward in your life. So let me explain to you these 9 points, and then we will break our limiting belief of fear of public speaking. All right. So I request everybody to come on video, please. Yeah, keep yourself mute, but come on video, please. Yeah. Okay, great. Now these 9 points I'm going to explain to you. Okay, and please listen to me. This you are going to practice. This is a very easy skill to learn. In just 10 to 15 minutes, you are going to learn. You are going to experience that how helpful it is, and then you can teach to others. And you can use any time, any worry you have. You're not feeling good, you can use it. If you're getting there is a pain in your body, you can use it. You are getting nervous because of something, you can use it. You have some worries, you can use it. It's so useful tool. Okay, so I'm going to explain you how to be used. Now the 9 points, what are those 9 points? So the first point is karate chop points. Karate chop points. So what you all do, you keep your hands like this, you take your left hand like this and bend your fingers slightly. Don't keep your fingers straight, bend your fingers slightly, keep it loose, keep it light, don't be kind of very stern with the hand. Okay, just keep it loose. Okay, and then this is the chop karate points. Okay, take your right hand, take your 4 fingers and tap here, tap, just tap. Okay, very good, just tap, tap, tap. Yeah, so this is the first point. This is known as the karate chop points. Okay, now take your 2 fingers, and just where the eyebrow begins, this point, just little above the nose where the eyebrow begins, just tap here with 2 fingers and tap gently. Don't tap hard, you may get hurt. Yeah, so just tap gently. Okay, just tap, 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 tap. Yeah, yeah, that's the second point. And then outside the eye, here, this is the eye, outside the eye. Yeah, just tap here. This is the third point. This is the third point. Okay, very good. Then below the eyes, This is below the eye. Here you can see a bone. Bone will be there. You can feel the bone. This is the fourth point. Yeah. You can tap gently on that bone. Yeah. The fourth point. Okay. Very good. Okay. Now below the nose, just below the nose. Okay. Here. This is the fifth point. This is the fifth point. Okay. Fifth point. Yeah. Very good. Now below the chin. Now this is actually the chin area. This is the chin, but this one, you know, this point. Okay. This is the sixth point. Yeah. Just tap here. Just tap. Okay. Okay. Very good. Then this is the collarbone. You know, in collarbone there are a lot of points. So what you can do, you can take your 5 fingers and just tap like that. Okay. On the collarbone. Yeah. Not on the back, not on the shoulder, but here the collarbone. This is the collarbone. Here you have the collarbone. Okay. Just tap like that. Okay. This is the 7th point. Okay. 7th point. Then take your armpit 4 inches below your armpit. Okay. This is the 8th point. 4 inches below your armpit. You know, I hope you all can see. This is the armpit and 4 inches below the armpit. This is the 8th point. 8th point. Okay. Very good. And the head, the skull here, this is the 9th point. You know, you can take your finger like that and then do it like this. This is the 9th point. Okay. So these are the 9 points. So with the researchers have found that if you tap on these 9 points with any issue you have, any worry, fear, limiting belief, whatever you have, you'll be able to come out of it easily and forever. Again, that worry, that nervousness is not going to worry you again. Okay, you'll be out for it ever. Okay, if you do it properly. So what we'll do, we will so karate chop points we need to do only once, where we'll set up the karate setup statement, we call it setup statement, and then we will do on these 8 points 3-4 rounds so that you get understanding of it, and maybe in 3-4 rounds you can come out of your worry and fear as well. Okay, so let me share this so that you can understand that how to break the limiting belief. Okay, so let me share it. Okay, so what happens because the stuck, let me explain you quickly how does the stuck emotion happen. So in our subconscious mind, there are a lot of, everything is stored in subconscious mind. So you have event, emotion, they all are linked. So if you have not been able to deliver well, confidently in the speech, then you have this fear. And that fear is always there because you remember that event, and along with that event, the emotion of fear is also there. What does this tapping do? This tapping breaks the connection, the association between your event and emotion. So you will remember the event. So for example, in 1993, when I delivered my first speech, I'll remember, but the emotion of fear will go away. When the emotion will go away, then naturally I feel light, and then I will be able to move forward rather than getting pulled by the same. So this tapping method helps you break that association. Okay, so now let us come back to understanding of this limiting belief. Okay, now let's say here if I say, okay, 1 second, am I sharing? Yeah, so the belief is that I don't have confidence to speak in public. Okay, so that is the belief. Okay, I hope I'm not sharing here. 1 second. So the belief is I don't have confidence to speak in public, and there could be similar beliefs like that. Now, these beliefs are like tabletop. What you see here, a table, these are like tabletops. This tabletop is there mainly because of the legs. If these legs are broken, if these legs are not there, this tabletop will fall down. Okay, so similarly, whatever beliefs you have, these beliefs are based on some reasons, some statements. Okay, whatever you have thought, some experiences. So because of those reasons, this belief is there. So we'll need to find out what are those reasons. So if I were to ask you in the chat box, maybe some of you can put your response in the chat box. What are some of the reasons why you believe that you don't have you have fear of public speaking, or why you believe that you are not a confident speaker? What are some of the responses you have? Can you please put in the chat box? Yeah, let me open the chat box. Okay, please put in the chat box. Okay, thank you. Yes, take note of timing. Yeah. Lack of experience. Okay, what other limiting beliefs are there, or what other reasons are there which makes you feel that no, I'm not a confident speaker? Okay, so can you please put up in the chat box? Yeah, some of you just put it, whatever comes to your mind, just put it. Don't worry, there's nothing right or wrong. Everything is right. If it comes to your mind, it is right. Don't worry about how people are thinking or not thinking, because that is also one of the limiting beliefs. Okay, so whatever you get, you just said past failures, very nice. Bad experience, very correct. Fear of not being able to deliver right, keep the audience interested, very good. Not good vocabulary, okay, very nice. Performance targets, okay. Embarrassments, great. Judgments, yes, people will judge me. Yes, very well said. I think these are very correct answers. So these are the reasons because of which the belief that I'm not a good speaker is there. Okay, so this is how we need to understand that how the limiting belief is created because of this reason. So let me just move forward. So one reason could be I'm not good at speaking. I have not done well in the past. So somebody already mentioned, okay, it is not good. I'm not good. I have bad experience. Even I had bad experience first time. Then others are much better than me. So we start looking at other people. Oh, this guy is doing better, or he's better. I can't do as good as him. So I'm not feeling comfortable in delivering this speech. Okay. Then the other is, will I be able to do well? The question, will I be able to do well? People will judge me and I may lose the respect. I may not get their appreciation. I can't engage the audience. I don't have this capability to engage people. So if I don't engage, don't entertain, I'm not going to be, appreciated. So at the end of the day, that is at the core, that, getting appreciation and respect. Will people like it? That's another question mark. And I'm not good at making people laugh. This is again one of the reasons people don't open up to speak. Now there are a lot of such reasons could be there, but I have just figured out this 5 6, and I think a lot of you, what you mentioned, it resonates with them. So what we have to do using the tapping method, that we have to take each belief, each reason, and we have to tap on these 8 points for each reason, maybe once or twice. Okay. And when you do, see, I'll tell you, if you do this, there are 7 reasons here, 6 reasons here. You do two rounds for each reason, you will feel quite comfortable, that your limiting belief will go away. So we are going to do that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, okay, let me explain you the process, that how you have to go about it. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to just close your eyes and say it loudly to yourself. I'm not good at public speaking. I'm not a confident speaker. Whatever your limiting belief is, speak 3 4 times and try to figure out on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level. Is it 5 6 7 8 9 10? What is your level on a scale of 1 to 10? What is your intensity on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your confidence? So we need to find that out first. Okay. Once you find that out, how true is it? Okay. Then we will set up the statement. This is known as a setup statement, which I'll do along with you, where we have to say, even though I believe that I'm not a confident speaker, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. See, so beautiful statement it is. Even though I believe that I'm not a good speaker, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So this statement we'll say 3 times. Okay. And after that, on these 8 points, we'll do several rounds for each one of those reasons. Okay. And after that, we'll do a couple of positive rounds with positive beliefs. Okay. With empowering beliefs. Okay. And then we will measure the progress. Okay. So let me stop sharing so that we all can do it. Okay. So let me open this. Okay. Very nice. Okay. On video, please. Yeah, come on video. And let us do this. Okay, let us, everybody, please do this with me, and you keep yourself mute. So what we'll do, we'll do the setup statement first. Okay, please try to learn this. You'll use it for not only for this, for anything, and in just 5 to 10 minutes, you'll be out of whatever words you have. Now, take this hand like this, and take this second, your right hand, and 4 points. Just tap here. Just tap here. Yeah, just tap here, and just repeat after me. Okay, you can have your own words, but because I'm just helping you understand how to use it, so I'll use my own words, but you feel free to use your own words. So for now, you can just say what I'm saying. Even though I believe I'm not a good speaker, I still deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I believe I'm not a confident speaker, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I believe I'm not good in engaging people, I'm not a good speaker, I have fear of speaking, I get nervous while speaking, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Okay. Now this setup statement done. We don't have to do it again. Okay. So we take your 2 fingers and we do the 8 rounds for each of the reasons. Okay. So for example, the first reason is I have not done well in the past. Okay. I have not done well in the past, meaning I have a bad experience. So take this 2 fingers and say, I'm really not a good speaker. I have done bad. I have a bad experience. In the past, I've really failed miserably, and on each point we can tap it for 6 to 7 times, not long time, but 6 to 7 times tapping only. Okay, so and after that move to the second point. So come to the second point here, outside the eyebrow. I really failed miserably. This was such an embarrassing situation. People laughed at me. I didn't enjoy that experience. Try to see that image when you failed, and the more emotion you can bring, the better it's going to be, the faster you are going to be relieved out of it. And you may get the feeling of yawning, like this yawning or the burping. They all are good signs, meaning the stuck emotions are going out. Okay. The second, this the third point. Now come here below the eye. Yeah, I'm not really good in speaking. I get nervous while speaking. I have always fear that what will people think about me. If I don't do well, it's really going to affect my reputation. Okay. Next point. Yeah. I'm not a good speaker. This is really bad. I want it to be developed. I badly want this skill, but I'm not doing so well. I get nervous before the public. Next point. I'm not really feeling good about myself. Yeah, next point. There are so many people who do well, but I don't do well. I have this nervousness. I really fear public speaking. Yeah, next point, below the armpit. Yeah, I'm not good at speaking. There are so many people who do well. I'm not able to do well. There's so many people who speak good English. They have good vocabulary. I don't have. Like Babu is one of them. Arvind is another. Next point. I'm not so good public speaker, but I want to become one. But my bad experiences, my past experiences are affecting me badly. Okay. Now we will do it for second reason. Okay. Second reason will take up that, we'll just repeat it. I can't engage the audience, or I can't entertain the audience. Okay. So again, second round, I'm not good in public speaking. I'm unable to engage people. I can't make them laugh. Next point. And I believe that making laugh is very is important, is essential quality of being a good speaker. Entertaining people, people should laugh, people should enjoy, when you're speaking. Next point. I'm really bad at public speaking. I really get nervous, what to do, how to come out of it. Next point. Just think of those experiences. I have always thought about my reputation, that if I fail, then people may laugh at me. I may lose respect, and that will not be good. Next point. You know, I have seen so many people who are doing well. How come they do well and I am not able to do well? You know. Next point. Public speaking really frightens me. You know, I really get nervous while speaking in front of public. You know. Next point. I get frightened whenever I'm asked to speak in public, and especially table topics. I don't know what the table topic master will give me the topic, and if I fall flat, it's going to affect me badly. You know. Next point. I'm not a good speaker. How do I develop this skill? You know. We'll do one more round, one more negative round, and then we'll do the positive round. Okay. Okay. One more round we'll do. Okay. There's so many people who do well, and I get influenced by them. But I always believe that people are judging me. I have this thought that others are looking at me, they are judging me, and that makes me nervous. You know, next point. This is really affecting my work, affecting my relationships. You know, I could do better if I had developed this skill. Yeah, next point. This is certainly a learnable skill. When others are doing well, I can do well too. But this fear of being judged, next point, this fear of being judged affects me badly. You know, if I don't do well, then I'm going to lose my respect. People will not like me, people will talk about me, people will talk in my back. You know, next point, that this guy is not a good speaker, don't give him a role, don't give him a slot. You know, they'll lose the respect. I have that fear perhaps. And because of that fear, I don't take attempt. I don't try, because I think at least my respect is maintained and people don't know, then that's better. Okay, next point. This public speaking fear is really bad, especially table topics, impromptu speaking. That is pathetic. You know, but still I see so many people doing well. You know, next point. Not doing so well. I'm really not feeling good about myself. You know. Okay, now take 3 deep breaths. Take 3 deep breaths and release from your mouth like this. Like this, okay? Do 3 times. And just be with yourself. Just feel the emotions you're going through. Just be with yourself, nothing else. Yeah, you can take a sip of water if it is there, because when you have some water, then it rebalances your energy system. Okay, but if it's not around, it's okay. Now we'll just do 1 or 2 positive rounds. Okay, and then we will you know, conclude. So for positive rounds, what we'll do, we need to remember a role model. If you know somebody whom you are personally associated with and he is a good public speaker, then try to remember him. Okay, that is good enough. So how we have to do the positive round? You take this 2 finger and say here, I really fear public speaking. I'm not a good public speaker. I'm not a good speaker. I'm not good in communication. Now next point, but next point, but I can really do well. You know, I have seen so many people doing well. I know so many people who have developed this skill from scratch. You know, if they have, next point, if they have developed, why can't I? You know, think of somebody whom you know, some role model. If you don't know somebody, think of some other guys. You know, there's so many people who have failed and who have developed their skills. Okay, even Sandeep Maheshwari was not a good speaker. Next point. Yeah, because he himself acknowledges that, you know, he was not a good speaker earlier, so he failed miserably a few times. Okay, so I can also, there are so many people who are doing well at this skill. Why can't I do? Yeah, next point. I can certainly do well. You know, I just need to practice. I just need to understand this theory, this concept, and then put that into practice. You know, and slowly I'll get there. Next point. I can definitely develop this public speaking skill. It's not that hard. When one person has done it, I can do it too. It may not be necessary that I have to entertain people. I have to make laugh people. I can just give a message. I have so many stories. If you just think of your own life and think of your own parents, there's so many stories you can tell people. If you remember any interaction with your parent that you learned something from your mother, your father, they did something to you, that becomes a story. You know, if there is a message, you can just deliver that message in the form of story to all the Toastmasters or to anybody. You know, so we'll just repeat the same thing one more round. I can also become a good public speaker. It is a learnable skill. It's not that hard. It's easy. I can definitely do it. It's absolutely possible. In this world, nothing is impossible. It's very much doable. Next point. It's a very much doable thing. When anybody else can do, I can do too. Yeah, next point. And there are so many Toastmasters who are going to help me. It's a positive, supportive environment. Nobody laughs here. We just think in our head that people may laugh, people may judge, so on and so forth. Even if they laugh, even if they judge, it is their business. I'm going to keep my subconscious mind proper. I'm always going to think positive about myself, and I'm always going to deliver some message. I'm always going to help people understand through my speech, to understand some skill, to understand some message, which will help them do better. So next point, whenever I am telling my own story and I'm good at it, I'm giving a message, there's no reason why I should fear about being judged, because my experience, I'm sharing my own experience with others. Next point, and am I going to add value? I can definitely become a good public speaker. There's nothing, fear is just in the mind. It's just a thought. It is not a real substance. It is just a thought which I have created because of my own experience. Next point, I can definitely become a good public speaker, an effective public speaker, and I can create the impact which I want to create. Yeah. Close your eyes and again take 3 deep breaths. Okay, take a sip of water if it is around. Okay, great. So yes, I have, okay, so I have perhaps 1 minute more. So just quickly, I want to ask any one of you that what was your rating earlier before you began this exercise on a scale of 1 to 10, and what is that intensity on that scale now? Anybody would like to share? Has it decreased, increased, or the same? Anybody would like to share that earlier when I thought I am not a good speaker, I'm not confident in public speaking, what was on a scale of 1 to 10? And now after doing this exercise, what is on that scale of 1 to 10? Anybody would like to share? Yeah. Is it also a limiting belief? Not okay. Sahil says it was 10. Okay, Sahil. How much from 10 to it has come?
So earlier it was around 5 to 6. Now it has come to 10.
It is increased, is it, or it is decreased?
It has increased, yes.
Oh, it has increased. Okay, so that is good. It is coming on the surface. So you do this a few rounds again. Okay, so maybe in the subconscious mind we have subconscious blocks. Okay, so when you do this exercise, it surfaces sometimes, but when you do it again and again, a few maybe 5-10 minutes at a stretch, you know, then it will reduce. You know, it should finally come down to 3, 2, 1, 0, something like that. Okay. Okay, so now since I'm running short of time, then let's quickly move on to the last thing, and that is the key takeaway. So the key takeaway, friends, is do this tapping and for a few minutes at a stretch, because we did for a little time, and it was also a learning experience. So you may not be able to get into that. So when you do it, you have to visualize. You have to have that emotion. When you have it, it is quick. When you don't have, you do it logically, it doesn't work. You have to connect with your subconscious mind, because emotions reside at your subconscious mind. So you have to feel it. The more you feel it, the faster it will be. But even if you are not able to feel it and you're just saying something is missing, something is wrong, just tap, 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 you'll be able to come out of it. Now, in case of speaking, whenever you have to deliver a speech and you feel just 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, try to do this tapping, and you will see that you will feel quite comfortable at the time of speaking. Then the other thing is just the positive thinking thing, that you focus on thinking something positive. Try to add value to the audience. Don't try to impress people. They say don't impress upon people. Try to bring some value on the table, so that you can add something to to the audience, rather than, even if you don't add, but share your own story with intention to add value. Even if you are sharing the same message which many people have shared, but if you have that intention that no, I'm going to share my own message with my own story, that will make a lot of difference in the way you deliver. Okay, so I think that's all from me. I hope I have crossed the time already, so we don't have time for question answer, and I hand it over to Presiding Officer Babu. Thank you very much.